I still remember the exact moment my world began to crack. I was 23, standing in the living room of the only home I'd ever known, my hands trembling as I clutched my phone. My mum was watching me with those sharp, loving eyes that always saw too much. "Baby, what's wrong?" she asked softly. I tried to smile. I told her everything was fine, that my boyfriend Ryan had just been under a lot of stress at work, that the late nights, the secret phone calls, the way he'd started snapping at me, it was all temporary, but deep down, I knew something was terribly broken. For months, Ryan had been pulling me into his business opportunities. He said it was easy money. He said he loved me and wanted us to build a future. I believed him. I ignored the warnings in my gut because love makes you blind, until the night I overheard him on the phone talking about the next girl and how much they'd pay. My stomach dropped. I wasn't just his girlfriend anymore. I was becoming part of something dark. I didn't tell my mom the full truth that evening. I couldn't, but she knew. Mothers always know. The next afternoon, everything changed. I was home alone when Ryan showed up with 2 other men I'd never seen before. They had cold eyes and fake smiles. Ryan kept saying, "Just come with us for a quick meeting, babe. It'll be fine." But his voice shook. I stepped back, fear crawling up my spine. That's when my mum walked through the front door. She took one look at their faces, at my terrified expression, and something in her shifted. Her voice cut through the room like steel. "Not my daughter." Those 4 words. Simple, quiet, but filled with a mother's fury. The men froze. Ryan tried to laugh it off. "Mrs. Harper, it's not what you think." But Mom didn't blink. She stepped between me and them, her small frame somehow towering. I said, "Not my daughter." I had never seen her like this. This wasn't the gentle woman who baked cookies and worried about my grades. This was a lioness who had just realized her cub was in danger. And that's when we heard it. The front door burst open so hard, it slammed against the wall. Heavy boots thundered across the floor. A tall, powerful man in civilian clothes rushed in, breathing hard, his face pale and shaking with controlled rage. "It's them!" he shouted, pointing directly at Ryan and the 2 strangers. "That get command on the line, now!" My heart nearly stopped. The man was my uncle's best friend, a Navy SEAL named Marcus, who had known our family for years. I didn't even know he was in town, but Mom had called him the second she sensed something was wrong with Ryan. She had been quietly gathering pieces for weeks, while I was lost in denial. Ryan's face went ghost white. The 2 men with him started backing toward the door, but Marcus moved like lightning, blocking their path. "You picked the wrong family," he growled. In the chaos that followed, the truth poured out like poison. Ryan wasn't just cheating on me emotionally. He had been working with a group that targeted young women, luring them in with promises of love and luxury, then handing them over to dangerous people for money. I wasn't the first. There were others. Girls who had disappeared after quick meetings. I felt my knees buckle. The man I had loved, the man I had trusted with my heart and my future, had been ready to sell me. The betrayal cut so deep I couldn't even cry at first. It was like someone had reached inside my chest and ripped out everything good I believed about people. Why? I whispered to him as Marcus held them in place. "I loved you." Ryan wouldn't look me in the eyes. He just muttered, "You don't understand. I owed them money. They said if I brought you in, my debt would be cleared." Those words destroyed the last piece of me that still hoped this was all a nightmare. Mom wrapped her arms around me while Marcus made the call. Her voice stayed steady, even though I could feel her heart pounding. "I knew something was off the day he started avoiding eye contact with me," she whispered. "No one hurts my baby and gets away with it." The hours that followed were a blur of pain and revelation. I sat on the couch shaking, replaying every sweet moment with Ryan. every lie I had chosen to believe. The late nights, the unexplained cash, the way he'd slowly isolated me from my friends and family. It had all been part of the plan. I felt so stupid, so broken, so ashamed. But through it all, Mom never left my side. She held me while I cried. She reminded me that loving someone doesn't make you weak. It just means you have a big heart. And sometimes, the world tries to punish big hearts. Marcus stayed until the authorities arrived. The look on Ryan's face when he realized this wasn't just going to blow over was something I'll never forget. The man who thought he could use me was now the one being exposed. What happened next was swift and merciless in its own quiet way. The investigation moved fast because of Marcus's connections and the evidence Mom had secretly helped collect. Screenshots, recordings, and messages I didn't even know she had asked me to save. Ryan and his accomplices were arrested that same night. Turns out they had been on law enforcement's radar for months. But my case became the one that finally cracked the ring wide open. I watched from a distance as their world collapsed. Ryan lost everything: his freedom, his reputation, the fake life he had built. The man who tried to betray me ended up completely exposed and alone. In the weeks that followed, I struggled. The betrayal left scars. I still feel some days. There were nights I couldn't sleep, replaying his voice, saying I was just a way to clear his debt. But every time the darkness crept in, Mom would sit with me and say, "They tried to break you, baby, but they didn't know who they were dealing with." Slowly, I began to heal. I found strength I never knew I had. I started speaking up about what happened, not for attention, but so other girls might recognize the signs sooner. I rebuilt my life piece by piece, surrounded by people who truly loved me. The greatest revenge wasn't watching Ryan get handcuffed. It was becoming the woman who refused to be destroyed. It was choosing to live fully, love carefully, and protect my own heart the way my mother protected me that day. If there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this. Never ignore that quiet voice inside you when something feels wrong. And if you're a mother watching this, trust your instincts. Your fierce love might be the very thing that saves your child. I'm no longer the naive girl who trusted the wrong man. I'm the daughter of a woman who taught me that real strength wears many faces. Sometimes it's a gentle hug, and sometimes it's the voice that says, with every ounce of fire in her soul, "Not my daughter." And sometimes that's more than enough to bring the whole truth crashing down. Thank you for being here with me. If you've ever been betrayed, know that you're not alone. Healing is possible, justice comes, and the people who tried to break you will never win. Drop a comment and tell me, has a mother's love ever saved you? I read every single one. Until next time. Stay safe, stay strong, and protect what's yours. This script is ready for recording. It builds strong emotion, delivers a powerful protective mother moment, reveals deep betrayal, and lands on an empowering, reflective close. The tone stays mature, cinematic, and perfectly suited for your revenge and betrayal storytelling channel. Let me know if you want any adjustments.